it's so far off the measurements. So those are really the only complaints I have about the outside. Other than that, again, all of the artwork that he did, especially with the inside blades, fantastic. So I think I covered that. And I'm doing most of all this on one take as well. So let me catch my breath, and we're going to talk about how we turn the machine on. Now this is very interesting too, because he has another video on his Facebook page of another customer that wants to give his 2 cents about Dave's build, and he makes comment that he's built his own multi-arcade. I guess that's going to be his resume, that he knows what he's talking about. And if that's the case, you wouldn't be using all of these different remotes. This is like 2015, 2014 technology. Now, as far as having the keyboard, yeah, I mean, you obviously want a keyboard because this system does have a computer on it, so that's what you use to do different functions if you needed to get into the computer. Get this set. But as far as something that you need to use all the time, again, that's not really something that a professional builder should be charging $5,000 or $6,000 for. And it's just something you need to know. I mean, I never asked, so I can't really complain about it because I never asked. And again, this is why we're doing the video. It's just how Dave does his build, and again, he's just kind of years behind in doing it. So we're going to go ahead and show you how this gets turned on. In the back, I didn't mention too, I have to get back here, he doesn't do any finishing work on the back, and there's only a couple of vents, which there should be more. I do know in some of his builds now, I think he is painting this or putting some kind of covering on it. And he also, I think, is starting to put a back door in here for easier access. So again, those are some of the improvements. I just wanted to point that out. I think he is doing that now. But one of the reasons, like on his video, he doesn't show you lots of times the back is because there's really nothing to look at. Except for this button right here. Let me get back in here. This is one of the buttons that you're going to need to turn on. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Reach back here. Where is the button? Which one is it? I forget. I'm always just kind of reaching back and just hitting it. I'm not really putting it this angle. Let me see. Now I'm kind of being awkward with this. Hold on. Okay, so that's turned on. So that's one of the first things that you want to do. Now, if you got his Stern type DMD, which is the larger one, I believe that monitor actually goes right to the computer, so that one might turn on for you, but I have the smaller one, so I have to go turn that on. So that's the first thing you need to do. The next thing you need to do is to turn on the back glass with the remote. Now this one here, now remember when I was showing you earlier about the square? There's no little square on this one. So if you go to turn it on, and by the way, the trick with this when you're turning it on is to hold down the power button. Don't hit it really fast. That's how you turn it on, but as you can see, it didn't turn on right there. What you have to do, you get this upper angle here. Is that good? I think so. You kind of have to hold this at an angle and kind of shoot down to get it to turn on. Again, hold down on the button and then give it a second too, because it takes a second to turn on. There you go. So that's the first one. So we're going to get that remote out of the way. The next thing you want to do is now, pick this up again, is you'd want to turn on your play field, which this is an easy one to do. This one pretty much comes on. So that's your second one. If you have the LED lights, I don't have them plugged in right now, but this would be the next one that you turn on. So we get rid of that one. Then you would come in with your key and you'd go into this coin box and you'd flip on your amplifier. So that's another thing you gotta turn on. And you want to turn this off because if you hear the humming, you don't want to hear that 24/7. So that's why I turn that off. Thing is I don't like really getting into this door a lot because there's these extra little things that catch into his wires. I don't know if you can see them in there, but they're kind of just all over the place. And again, we'll look at the inside on our next video. And two, you got to take the key out because when you lock it, the key will just fall out. So you don't want to, you definitely want to make sure you know where this is at all times. So we're going to put that over there. Now his system itself, oh, forgot the last button, which is the computer button, which is down underneath the cab. So we're going to push that. And you want to do that last. You always want to have all your monitors on first. And we'll give that a second to come up. There we go. Now we still have to deal with this one as well. So we got buttons and then we have all of these controls over here. That's just to get the machine going. Which again, in 2015, that's kind of how people did them. And the reason why they did them is because TVs were still really expensive and gaming monitors were just outrageously priced. So if you wanted like the real stuff that you should have in the machine, you couldn't, you kind of couldn't afford it back in the day unless you had a lot of money. Again, now they're less expensive. So that should be something at least with your, you know, with your back glass and your DMD, those should all be computer monitors. Because if you have the computer monitors, you can eliminate those remotes. All right, so this is still kind of, I'm gonna kind of get this. So you'll see here, it's just like a regular computer. I'm walking to a hole there. There we go. It'll take a second, and it should load. Let's give it a minute. Now also too, like with some of the other stuff, like you can see here, that this is also kind of like a computer up here as far as getting the feed. Sometimes when I'm playing games, this still stays on, so it's kind of annoying, and sometimes it goes away. Alright, so maybe not. Might have to use the mouse here to get it going. Oh, no, here we go. Could not displayed pinup driver. Alright, let's just try this. See if it gets it to load. Great, I go through this whole video. Oh, where are we at? 23 minutes. And this doesn't let me. There we go. Yeah, oh, no, wait. What happened to it? Let's try this again. There we go. And so we can look at here, retro play, and there's the back. Alright. And then we're going to now turn down, because I don't want to get copyright with this. And so to do the volume, you would use the keyboard. We're going to mute that down. Oops. Where's that? There we go. Okay, so you can look at all of the different things you need just to get it started. Now, some people don't care about that. I can tell you that if you're going to want to be a serious gamer and you're going to want to just like come and put the stuff up. Now you can see too, see how the pictures are kind of going in and out. I don't know if that's due to the graphics card that Dave put in there. But it does this a lot as well. But you can come in here and select. Now also too, with some upgrades, Dave does put a volume control inside the door, but remember when I told you about the door, I really don't think, unless you redo the wiring in there, you don't want to be opening that up all the time. It's better to have the buttons outside. Let me go over here and we select. And so again, I mean, this does have sound. When I got my machine, it didn't have any of these videos on it. A lot of the tables were missing. You can see right here I have a lot of broken wheels that they're called. And there's just a whole bunch of different things that aren't working properly. I think some of the stuff can be fixed, and I think even some of the stuff, really, to be honest with you, if you get a machine from him that's completely working and you really start to get into pinball, you can upgrade the stuff, right? You can change out the graphics card if you want. You can change out the solenoids. You can change out from a TV monitor to a gaming monitor. So that's one great thing, like if you do get into this, that you can do. We go over here, and I wanted to show you on here. I know this one generally does. Now this one generally crashes, so we'll see. I don't know, I just turned it on. We'll see if this actually crashes the machine. When you go to a game, you push the start again. It'll take a minute to load. Some games load faster than others. Now again, I don't have the DMD because that's broke, but again, we're pretending like it's working. Again, like I said, generally this one, after it loads, it crashes the table, or it has quite a few times, and that kind of happens. And that's kind of like typical of any machine, because these are programs, so you will get sometimes when you do a table, it doesn't load properly. So that's not really like a negative, that's just kind of how some of the machines work. Get the volume, why is there no volume? I actually turned the volume up on this. Let me see. Okay, so this one just isn't. Oh, there we go. That one, it just took a while, and then it ends up crashing. This is on quite a few of them. Again, I've had tables that don't have the back glass. I've had tables that they kind of smash, and I'm actually going to show you. This was actually kind of a funny one. If you look at this screenshot right here. So you can see that's the Living Dead, the shadow. So again, stuff like this, that's going to happen. Even if you're a DIY builder and stuff. I just wanted to point that out, that this machine has a lot of issues. It's not just, hey, something broke in shipping and I got upset about it. That's not the case. This has from the solenoids not working, to things missing, to the graphics card, to the back glass, to the DMD, to all the remotes you need to use. It hasn't been a very good experience, and I try to work things out with Dave. He's not honoring the warranties. He's not doing the lifetime tech support. And I'm pretty much set now that I'm gonna just rebuild it, right? I'm gonna rebuild everything. I'm gonna watch other YouTube videos. I'm gonna go onto chat boards, which actually can be a fun thing to do. It's just kind of a pain that you spend this much money for a product that, like I said in the beginning of this video, is a couple years behind. So we can see here, I'll just show you what the thing says, or maybe it won't. Yeah, there we go. You can read that. And again, it's not that big a deal that one of these doesn't work. And I think lots of times with his customers that are happy with his stuff, he does make the outside of the machines look really good. And if you're only going to play this every once in a while and you're not serious, then even if a table doesn't load, you can either just go out of it and then reload it again, or either you just go to another table. I mean, you got hundreds of tables to choose from, so it's not like the worst thing in the world. So this is going to be the end of this video. Again, I know some people were wanting to look at the inside. To do that, I have to take off the top glass, the side rails. I got to remove the TV, and it's not that much of a hassle. It takes a few minutes to do, but again, this video itself is going really long, and I want to do separately on the actual build itself. I just wanted to go over, again, if everything was working on this machine. So I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. I hope I didn't repeat myself too much on a lot of things. I'm sure I left some stuff out. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them down below.